All right, everyone, welcome into the Media Center here at the ANA Inspiration. I'm happy to be here with world number 9, Lexi Thompson, our 2014 champion. Lexi, you're playing in your 10th ANA. Welcome back to the desert. You're coming off a nice final round 69 last week at the Kia Classic, coming in nice and fresh. How do you feel as you drive up the road here and start your week at Rancho Mirage?
Oh, I feel great. This is one of my favorite tournaments. Every year I just enjoy the drive over from San Diego to Palm Springs. It's just absolutely beautiful here, and got to play the course yesterday, and it's probably in the best shape I've ever seen it. So just to be back, it brings back so many great memories, and I just love this golf course. I get to hit my driver everywhere, so it's just so much fun to be here this week.
You mentioned the course, said you played 9 holes yesterday, 9 holes this morning. I've heard there are some changes out there on the golf course, particularly some of the fairways are a little narrower. How does it look out there?
Yeah, definitely. Some of the fairways are brought in quite a bit, and a few of the tees that they moved back. I think 3 and 4 are back, and 15, I believe, are back. So it's playing a little bit longer. The fairways are softer, but the greens are still firm. So it's a good combination, and the rough is up, so it's definitely in major championship week. It's in great shape, so it's how it should be.
You always play so well here in your 10 tournaments. You've, in your 9 previous times here, you've got 4 top 10s, 8 top 25s, never missed the cut. What is it about the Dinah Shore course that really seems to suit you so well?
Yeah, well, I've played here since I was 14, I believe, so a lot of great memories. But, you know, I think it's just I get to play aggressive out here. I get to take my driver, and just the setup of the golf course, you know, aim up the right side and just hit my draw out there with my driver. And it's just, I think it suits a ball striker, which major championships usually should. But it's just a great layout, and I just love coming here, and I think it's all about the attitude that you bring to the golf course.
We'll open it up for any questions. Raise your hand, and we can bring a microphone around to you. We're going to start in the middle with Larry Bohannon, and then over to Randall.
So do you think the changes, the tees that got moved back, maybe narrowing the fairways, is it a good thing for your game, or is it something that might make you think about putting the driver away on a couple of holes?
No, I think they're great changes. It makes me keep driver more in my hand, for sure. A few of the fairways, like I said, they were brought in, but I think it just makes it more challenging. But at the same time, you want to get it as far down there as you can. Even if you do hit in the rough, you want to have a shorter club in, because the rough is thick on some of those holes, so you want a shorter shot in as you can.
I was going to say, we've had a tremendous amount of rain by our standards around here.
I can tell.
And so it's not so much that the rough is tall, but really thick, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tall on a few holes, but it's just the thickness of it. It definitely slows the club down going through it, but, you know, that's how rough usually is at majors, so it's definitely setting up as it should.
Over on the edge to Randall.
Lexi, you have a familiar face back on your bag as caddy. Can you tell us about the decision to bring Benji back? And wasn't he on the bag when you won here?
Yeah, he was on my bag when I won here in 2014. And, yeah, it was a decision that we kind of made after Asia. And it's great to have him back on the bag. He has such an upbeat personality, very positive, and he has an aggressive personality out in the golf course. I think he brings out the best in my game. You know, if I'm ever questioning a shot, he's like, all right, you got this. Show me what you got. And it's kind of a good personality for me to have out there on the golf course. So it's a good change.
Right here on the front row.
Lexi, last year's winner was kind of a surprise. How surprising was Pernilla Lindberg's victory to you, and how impressive was what she did over the 5 days?
That was a long playoff. That's all I have to say. No, I wouldn't say it's a surprise. She's a great player. We all know that. I think it's all a matter if you have the patience for a major championship week. She has the talent, and obviously she rolls her putts so well, and I think that showed that week. She made so many great putts, especially in those playoff holes, and it was great to watch. You know, unfortunately, it went to Monday. Nobody ever wants to finish on a Monday at a major championship with, you know, fewer crowds, but I think it was great for her. I mean, she's a great person and an amazing talent. She works hard, so it was well-deserved.
And how important, you mentioned patience, is that really the key to winning in this tournament and in majors, just to remain calm throughout?
I think it helps in any tournament, but major championship weeks for sure, because usually major weeks, the golf courses are set up hard. You're going to make bogeys, but you just have to be patient because you know you can take advantage of a few holes that are birdie holes out there. You just have to be patient with yourself. There are going to be a few holes that you might bogey, but you can get it back on other holes, and you can't let yourself get ahead of yourself. And you just have to stay in the moment, make sure you do your routine, and just be confident over the shots.
Back middle to Lisa.
Lexi, let's go back to 2014, that jump into Poppy's Pond. You're a young player. When you think of your career right now, how important was that moment to be able to get such a big victory at that age?
It was very important. It's one of my major highlights, that's for sure, jumping into Poppy's Pond with my whole family and my caddy Benji, and it was a truly special moment. I think getting the first major win under your belt, besides the first tournament in general, it's a huge leap. I think it just shows how much your hard work has paid off, and winning at a major, realizing how much patience you put into it, how much hard work, and just that showing in that big of a week under certain circumstances and certain pressures. So it was a big deal for me, and it definitely gave me a lot of confidence, but just gave me more momentum to just work harder and hopefully have it happen again.
And what about the tradition of it, especially being so young? And I know as a little girl, you started early. Was that something that you dreamed of as a little girl, growing up playing this game, jumping into Poppy's Pond?
Yeah, well, I've played in this tournament since I was 14, and it's always been a dream of mine to jump into Poppy's Pond. I think it is for a lot of women golfers because there is so much history behind this tournament and tradition, jumping into Poppy's Pond, wearing the robe, and it was a dream come true for me for sure. This tournament just has so much history behind it, and it's just an honor to be able to play here at Mission Hills.
And you mentioned Benji and your family jumping in. After you guys shared that moment together, what did you guys talk about, just that leap and taking it together as a family?
I think we were all just so excited. I think we all stayed in that pond for like 5-10 minutes, just hugging each other and just like screaming and everything. It's a special moment. You can't really put it into words, and you know, it didn't really sink in until a few days after what I've done.
You talked about the tradition of this tournament, and one of the great traditions is the Champions Dinner. I know you went last night. What was that celebration like, spending so much time with some of the greats in this game?
Yeah, it is an honor just to be around the greats of the games, role models of mine, and just to be surrounded by greatness, really, and people that made this game. It's a true honor, and just to be able to spend that 2 hours with them, have a sit-down dinner, and be able to mingle with them before, and just to see the people that made this game. It's an inspiration, and it was an honor just to be there and be able to be around these people.
And that actually ties right into our new campaign that we unveiled a couple weeks ago, the Drive On campaign. I know without those ladies, we wouldn't have a tour, and you spend so much of your time focusing on the next generation and the young girls out there. What does it mean to you to truly drive on through this game?
Yeah, it's important to just drive on, and I think as athletes, we just want to leave the game in a better place than it was when we came in. And we want to be role models for little kids or anybody for that matter, and just be inspirational to people that look up to us. We work very hard, and it's always been our dream to do what we are doing, and you know, it's an amazing opportunity. We don't take it for granted, but at the same time, we want to be role models for these kids, and we want them to pick up a club at a young age. And I think that's what's great about all the golf programs that we have now, especially the LPGA with the USG Girls Golf Program and so many others. So it's great to see, and you know, we want to leave the game in a better place. That's all we want to do.
Any further questions for Lexi? All right, well, thank you so very much. Appreciate your time, and we will see you out on Thursday.
All right, thank you.